Next up, I'd like to talk about the Mac. This is the strongest Mac lineup we ever have had. We continue to innovate, we continue to lead the industry, and more importantly, we continue to provide the very best experience for our customers. And this is the reason that for every year, for the last decade, the Mac has outgrown the industry. And if you look at notebooks, the numbers are even more telling. Last year, the industry shrank, and the Mac grew over 20%. This is phenomenal. And when you're out in the wild, you will see Macs everywhere now. They're in schools, they're in businesses, they're in coffee shops and airports, and hopefully they're in your living room. But the definition of portability has changed in the last several years, led by iPhone and iPad. So we challenged ourselves to take everything that we had learned in designing iPhone and iPad and do something incredibly ambitious and bold. We challenged ourselves to reinvent the notebook. And we did it. And here it is.
You gotta know I'm feeling love. You gotta know I'm feeling love. You gotta know I'm feeling love. Made it go, I'll never love her. Another one, another you. It's gotta be love, I said it.
And here it is. It is unbelievable. Can you even see it? I can't even feel it. There it goes. I'd like to invite Phil Schiller up to tell you all about it. Phil?
Thank you, Tim. Oh, good morning, everyone. I'm so excited to tell you all about this incredible new MacBook. It is the most extreme and efficient notebook we have ever created. And it took reinventing every technology in it to deliver something this amazing. And it absolutely looks gorgeous from every angle. The new MacBook weighs just 2 pounds. Yes. This is the lightest Mac we have ever made. And even at its thickest point, it's just 13.1 millimeters thin. That's the thinnest Mac we have ever made as well. In fact, the previous thinnest Mac, here it is, the 11-inch MacBook Air, as you can see, the new MacBook is 24% thinner. That is a huge difference. And as you look around at every angle you see, well, this is an all-metal enclosure. The team has integrated the antennas right into the enclosure. It's the first time we've been able to do it that way. And when you open it up, you're struck by one of its most dominant features, that keyboard. It has a full-size keyboard. It goes all the way to the edge. That actually defines the size of the notebook, that keyboard. And it's not just any keyboard. It is an all-new keyboard. As you move to a thinner design, it took an entirely new kind of invention to make it a beautiful keyboard. So the team studied how current keyboard technology works. Here's a slow motion video of a customer typing on a standard keyboard. And as you see, as the keys get pressed, they're a bit wobbly. In fact, if you press them on the side, they start to bottom out. That's because they're based on a mechanism called a scissor mechanism. And there was a time when that was great. But now there's something new. Our team invented a butterfly mechanism. This butterfly mechanism is built of a single assembly, and it's supported by a stainless steel dome switch. And that all adds up to a key that is much more precise and accurate. In fact, it's 4 times more stable than that scissor mechanism, yet is 40% thinner, allowing us to make a thinner keyboard. And we also made the keycap larger, making it even easier to strike and get a beautiful typing experience. So this is a slow motion video of typing on the new keyboard, on the new MacBook. The keys are much more precise, much more accurate, even if you strike them on the side. It is a beautiful keyboard, even in the dark. We have now created a new lighting system for the backlight with an individual LED for each key. This allows it to be thinner and more precise in its illumination. So that's the first new feature on the new MacBook, an all-new full-size keyboard. Well, the perfect size display to match to that full-size keyboard is a 12-inch display with full edge-to-edge cover glass. And to be beautiful, of course, it's a Retina display. A Retina display with 2304 by 1440 pixels. If you do the math, that's just over 3.3 million pixels. It is a beautiful display. The panel is just 0.88 millimeters thin. This is the thinnest display we've ever built into a Mac. And those pixels have a larger aperture for light. What's that about? Well, an individual pixel is made up of red, green, and blue subpixels. The team has been able to miniaturize electronics and move them out of the way so more light comes through each pixel. So at the same level of brightness, it actually consumes 30% less energy. So it's our thinnest display, our most energy efficient display. It truly is the best display we've ever built onto a Mac. Next up, the trackpad. This is an incredible feat of engineering. A traditional trackpad is hinged at the top, and as you click on it, it moves like a diving board. So the top end is stiffer and the bottom end is softer. Well, not with this trackpad. We call it the Force Touch trackpad. It has a glass multi-touch surface, but built underneath it are 4 force sensors. And for the first time in a trackpad, our Taptic engine that you've heard about with Watch is built into here as well to provide feedback of your clicking. This is an incredibly thin, capable trackpad. And for the first time, you can click anywhere and get the exact same feel over the entire surface. It's not hinged like a diving board. And that feel, because it's managed in software, you can adjust it if you want to have a stiffer or softer feel to your trackpad. But what it can do is so much more than that. Those force sensors sense a range of pressure from your lightest click to a deeper press. And we've created a new gesture for those deeper presses. We call them a force click. So how does that work? Well, in OS X, when you force click, for example, on a Word in a browser, you automatically get a Wikipedia lookup of that. If you're in email and you see an address, you force click on it, and you automatically get a map that pops up with a location. Maybe someone has invited you and sent you a date and time. You force click on that, and it automatically creates a calendar entry. You can even force click on a file in the Finder and automatically get a preview of the contents of that file without even opening the application. And this is a range of pressure that the sensors can sense. So in drawing applications or signing your signature, you get a much more accurate illustration based on that pressure. If you're watching a movie in QuickTime or a video, you can press deeper on fast forward, and the deeper you press, the faster it goes. I got that in just 2 takes. So this is the new trackpad in the new MacBook. It's engineered like no trackpad ever has before. So let's take a look inside, because what's on the inside is just as innovative as these features we're looking at on the outside. This is our latest unibody architecture. Unibody architecture creates the structure out of the enclosure, and you can mount devices and components directly to that structure, like that great trackpad. Let's put the logic board inside it. This is the logic board of the 11-inch MacBook Air. Obviously, it was quite an engineering feat to make that fit inside the new MacBook. Well, our engineering team took on two really huge challenges with this. The first, the device with the circular shape on the right, well, that's a fan with vent support. Well, the team designed this new MacBook with removing all fans and vents to make it the first fanless MacBook ever. Yes. So it operates silently. So here's that logic board now without the fan. What our engineering team did is remarkable. That's the new logic board inside the MacBook. They've miniaturized it. It is the densest logic board ever in a Mac. It is 67% smaller. That is 1/3 the size of the previous smallest logic board. This is insane. It's powered by an Intel Core M, 5th generation, 14 nanometer process. You can configure it with speeds up to 1.3 gigahertz, which can be turbocharged, running up to 2.9 gigahertz. And yet all that performance just consumes 5 watts. It's incredibly energy efficient. So now we can fit that incredible minute logic board right inside the new MacBook. So what do we do with the rest of that space? We fill it with batteries. This uses Apple's asymmetric battery technology. You can see the cells are different sizes. But the team went so much further with the battery chemistry in this new MacBook. Traditional cells are rectangular, not only in the X and Y, but in the Z thickness as well. Well, that doesn't work very well if you have a product this thin, this contoured. If you try to fit a rectangular cell in it, you see you're left with a lot of empty space. And we don't want to ship air, we want to ship batteries. So what the team has done is amazing. They've created the batteries in sheets that can be terraced with contoured shapes that fit the contours of the MacBook's enclosure. So now you can fit battery technology inside it like this. It's far more efficient. In fact, we can get 35% more battery within the same space by these new contoured cells. And that allows us to deliver all-day battery life in the new MacBook. So that's up to 9 hours wireless web, up to 10 hours iTunes movie playback, and so much more. It is an incredibly innovative notebook on the inside as well as the outside. Now, how do you connect with the world? Well, this is our vision for the future of the notebook. And the only intelligent vision of the future of the notebook is one without wires. We don't have to plug up cables to connect to things. That's why we have both dual stream 802.11 AC and Bluetooth 4.0 built in. With all the great new advancements in OS X Yosemite and continuity, you can connect and share like never before wirelessly. You can connect peripherals. You can connect to printers. You can share content. Because this is the vision for the future of the notebook, one of extreme portability. When you want to watch content on your TV, you do it with AirPlay. When you want to share files, you do it with AirDrop. When you want to get on a cellular network, from your MacBook, you can initiate a hotspot on your iPhone. When you want to kick back and listen to music, you can do it wirelessly with some very cool Beats speakers and headphones. Now, of course, there is a time when it's really convenient to plug in a cable. That's when you want to charge quickly. So we do have a port on here for power. And the team decided if we're going to have a port on it, let's make the most versatile connector we've ever put in a notebook. And sure enough, they did. One connector supports USB data, DisplayPort, power, HDMI, VGA, all through one connector. The technology behind this is a brand new standard called USB-C, and Apple, along with a number of other companies, have all worked together to create this new industry standard, and you're going to see it appear in more products. But first, you see it here on the new MacBook. Here's the cable for USB-C. It's a third the size of a standard USB cable. It's easier to use because it's reversible. No more trying to dive underneath and figure out which way it goes. And it's the most versatile connector. You'll see adapters from Apple, as well as many third parties to support all these different interfaces all through one connector. So this is the new MacBook with its incredible keyboard, with its butterfly mechanism, its new multi-touch trackpad that's force sensitive, a perfectly matched 12-inch Retina display with over 3.3 million pixels, our most dense logic board ever, incredible new contoured battery technology, all packed into the thinnest, lightest, most beautiful notebook we have ever made. It comes in silver, space gray, and a stunning gold. Yes. We're really proud of the fact that this is the most environmentally friendly notebook we've ever made. Energy Star 6.1, E-Peat Gold, arsenic-free display glass, mercury-free, BFR-free, PVC-free, the first time on a Mac, beryllium-free, and of course, highly recyclable. And I think the team's probably proudest of this next one. It's also the world's most energy-efficient notebook. We really love and couldn't be prouder of this new MacBook. And I have a brief video to tell you more about it.
The new MacBook is the result of a collective obsession to simplify its essential components to create the most efficient design possible. It's a product that couldn't exist without invention across many disciplines. A full-size keyboard is the most familiar, comfortable, and accurate typing platform. It defined the width of the new MacBook. To make it thinner and more precise, we created a sturdy, single-assembly butterfly mechanism. Combined with a new stainless steel dome switch, this reinforces the keyboard's balance and stability. Each individual key is now lit by a single LED. This enables better, more deliberate illumination. A Retina display delivers the very best viewing experience. To engineer the thinnest Retina screen for a Mac, we've refined every component, from the glass down to the pixels. It delivers the vivid brightness and performance you'd expect, but in a design that's thinner, lighter, and 30% more power efficient. We've designed a force-sensing, multi-touch trackpad. This adds a new dimension of interaction. Touch sensors make the entire glass surface active. Force sensors measure a wide range of pressure, from the lightest tap to the deepest press. The pressure you apply activates an electromagnet that responds with tactile feedback. So now instead of just seeing what's happening on the screen, you feel it too. To make all-day battery life possible, we have developed new battery technologies. We actually changed the construction and internal chemistry of the cells, which are now manufactured in discrete sheets. These sheets are stacked in a terraced structure that was developed along with the external enclosure. The design allows for 35% greater battery capacity in this compact space. To maximize performance, we took an extreme approach to miniaturization. Components were optimized and engineered to fit together to create the highest density Mac logic board yet. It's actually 2/3 smaller than any we've designed before. A fundamental goal was to eliminate the need for vents, fans, or any moving parts, allowing it to operate in silence. By consolidating the antenna with the bottom case, we were able to design an integrated aluminium hinge. This innovation, along with its unibody enclosure, makes this the first all-metal MacBook. This product is not only thin and light, its advanced wireless technologies make it truly portable. When you actually need to plug in, the new USB Type-C connector is a single port for charging, video output, and data transfer. The result of all of this is a product that's only 13.1 millimeters thick and weighs just 2 pounds. To create the new MacBook, we were uncompromising in its design and engineering. We set a new standard for portability while enhancing its fundamental components to deliver what we believe is the best MacBook yet.
Hashtag MacBook Lust. The new MacBook starts with 12.1-inch Retina display, a 1.1 gigahertz Intel Core M, a large 8 gigs of internal memory, and a large 256 gigabyte flash storage device at just $12.99. Yes. And for those who want even more, you can get a faster processor and twice that internal storage for just $15.99. It is absolutely incredible, beautiful, and our most advanced notebook ever. It will begin to ship in a number of countries in just a month, April 10th. And the new MacBook joins the MacBook Air and MacBook Pro to make this our best notebook lineup ever. Now we have some updates to the others as well. The MacBook Air is being updated to faster 5th gen Intel Core i5 and i7 processors. They have faster Thunderbolt connectors, Thunderbolt 2, and the 13-inch configuration gets flash that's now twice as fast as before, and those will be shipping starting today. In the 13-inch MacBook Pro as an update as well, it's getting the new Force Touch trackpad that we just talked about with MacBook, also in the 13-inch MacBook Pro. It's getting faster processors with faster Core i5 and i7 processors, and it's getting twice as fast flash as well, and we've been able to get another hour of battery life out of it, now 10 hours of all-day battery life. And that's shipping today as well. And that is our news on the MacBook. Tim?
Thanks, Phil. It's really awesome. I think you're really going to love it. Now I'd like to turn to the newest addition to the Apple family. And of course, I'm talking about the Apple Watch.